Please be aware this is my personal opinion, and to expect full spoilers for the topic ahead. A Minecraft movie. Despite releasing well over a decade ago, I've actually never played Minecraft. Nearly all of my knowledge for the game comes from its implementation in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But I was curious to see how this film would hold up on its own, as an adaptation of a game that I have no personal experience with. It was incredibly stupid, but honestly, I didn't have a bad time. Bereft of expectation for much more than a few laughs, the movie accomplishes that, and I'm not usually one for campy tones. And that's thanks to the major players, Jack Black and Jason Momoa, who really make the most of it. Jack Black, playing Steve, is channeling his infectious intensity more than ever, and it's that very commitment he has to playing the part that makes him fun to watch. The same can be said for Momoa, playing a former video game champion desperate to prove himself. The chemistry between the two of them's pretty fun. They're both really passionate, with rather bizarre dialogue that keeps your attention. The rest of the main cast is underwhelming. I get you want kid characters in a movie like this, but they're entirely uninteresting and forgettable. If you're watching this movie at all, it's for these two, because without them, there's not much to praise here. Though I will give a shout out to Jennifer Coolidge as an unhinged vice principal, playing the kind of character she always plays and therefore contributing several funny lines. This movie's got a lot of jokes, and some work better than you'd think thanks to the delivery, but the sheer volume and ludicrousness of a lot of them ensure they don't always hit. This isn't a film to take seriously. If you want sincerity, it does play with a few heartfelt moments, but they feel tongue-in-cheek and formulaic. I wasn't expecting this movie to be a farce from the very get-go, but it's immediate, starting with the introduction of the Minecraft world explained by Steve. Is this really how you want to introduce me to a magical land, barking it at me in the first 5 minutes? It does tell you right away the kind of film this is, and if you can accept it for being a big joke with silly characters and circumstances, then you probably won't have a bad time. Visually, the blocky Minecraft style lends this world a unique aesthetic. I liked seeing the various creatures, and some are even cute. However, in my unfamiliarity with the source material, I question how well this movie makes use of, well, Minecraft. There's not much of a story here. Outside of stopping a generic evil villain, a few characters have minor plot lines about their relationships with each other and where they're going, but very little going on has to do with the Minecraft world itself. Again, outside of the villain trying to take over this world. But like, who cares? There's nothing in this world. From my perspective, it's a bunch of fields and mountains with some animals and villagers. There's nothing especially meaningful about it, or even anyone here with a name or significant purpose. The story's focused entirely on the real-world characters and the problems they already have before they arrive here. This movie could basically be set in any fantasy realm, because while they do make use of Minecraft's unique systems, the world really just serves as a backdrop for references and wacky situations for everyone to run around in. There's no attempt to explain the world, why it exists, why it works the way it does. Why is this a Minecraft movie exactly? I guess the games don't have a focused narrative, but making this yet another video game adaptation about people pulled here from another world is not only conceptually played out, but the subject matter ends up feeling secondary. I can't really point to much I'd say this film does well. Like I said, it has some funny jokes and moments, carried by the standout actors, who look like they're having a lot of fun. But aside from that, there's not much to take away from this, or really even much to say about it. Do I recommend this movie? It's harmless. It's fine for what it is. It goes by quickly enough. If you're looking for something light and silly, you could certainly do worse, but don't expect anything profound or enriching from a Minecraft movie. I prefer to come out feeling something worthwhile from the things I watch, but since this movie's not even trying, I have an easier time accepting it for the nonsense that it is, since it does get a chuckle every now and then. But it'll fade from memory as quickly as it went by. Well, except for Lava Chicken.
Steve's lava chicken, yeah,
If you have seen this movie and also play Minecraft, I'd be interested to hear what you thought of it. If you felt like it was a nice representation of that game. Because knowing myself and how seriously I take my interests, I imagine I'd have a far more critical review as a fan. The Super Mario Bros. Movies evidence enough of that. Either way, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, consider becoming a member of the channel to access various perks and support me and my videos. And feel free to let me know in the comments any movies or shows you'd be interested to hear my thoughts on. As always, be well everyone, and I'll see you next time.